changing the lives and will continue to change the lives of every single person. So thank you, everyone, once again, for your presence. And thank you, PYMA, thank you, PSSM, for bringing this initiative, putting this initiative together, and bringing all of us together to discuss some wonderful things that are going to influence our lives and that will help us create impact all around the world, all around the globe. All right. So once again, without any further ado, let's turn into active listeners and also participants and understand this beautiful topic of body energy amplification technique or technology. This beautiful concept was introduced by Brahmarishi Pitama Patriji. Now, what is this topic all about, right? You must be wondering, body energy amplification. I think that the title gives it away, but there is so much more to this, and you will understand this as we delve into this topic. So this technique is used to enhance the energy of our physical body and maintain it at our peak level at all times, so that it may enable us to act in the most appropriate manner all the time, always. Yeah. So now let's understand this further. Let me take you to the next slide. So when we talk about this topic, we must first understand why do we feel so refreshed after having a very healthy meal or after having a good night's sleep? Have you ever wondered, why does this happen? We wake up after a wonderful sleep and we have a wonderful, wholesome vegetarian meal and we feel so refreshed. That's because when we do these tasks, we receive something called cosmic energy, right? But when we receive this cosmic energy after having a wholesome meal or after getting a good night's sleep, that energy is limited, right? It is not adequate enough. It does not cater to our everyday tasks, right? It is only limited to things that we can do immediately, right? It does not help us conserve our energy for the 23 hours when we're not meditating, for instance, right? We meditate for an hour and we feel absolutely refreshed. But what happens during the 23 hours or the 22 hours when our eyes are open, when we're not meditating, right? So during that time, how do we conserve our energy? How do we maximize our energy in our physical bodies, right? So Pitama Patriji introduced us to this beautiful Anapanasati meditation, which is a meditation technique, a breath meditation technique, and a potent source of cosmic energy. From time to time, we can meditate and we can receive cosmic energy, right? But how do we conserve the energy during the time when we're not meditating? So this is where the concept of beat comes into picture, right? So in other words, the need arises to conserve and maximize the energy levels of our physical body during the hours when we're not meditating, right? So Pitama Patriji introduced us to this concept of beat, which is body energy amplification technique or technology. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to just expand and make this into a presentation because I don't think I have clicked on that. So just 1 second. Here we go. Yeah, this is better. Okay. So it's very important to understand this concept in respect of activities that we perform which help us in acquiring or increasing our energy levels, and activities which we perform or tasks we do which basically decrease our energy levels or which lead to energy dissipation, right? Which dissipate our energies, right? So it's important to understand that the idea behind this concept, right? It's explained in terms of the activities that are either helping in conserving energy or leading to dissipation of energy. In other words, when we cultivate the right physical and emotional life patterns, and our quality of life improves, right? And also the quantity of the work that is done is absolutely without any obstacles. You're able to accomplish things easily, right? Because you have high levels of energy. On the other hand, with improper physical and emotional patterns or improper tendencies and inclinations, our energy gets dissipated, right? That is why it is so important to meditate from time to time, and so that we can conserve and we can maintain the reserves of our cosmic energy in our physical bodies, right? But let's understand this concept in the light of various aspects of human existence, right? Because Patriji talks about this concept in the light of various aspects of human existence in respect of energy gained or conserved versus energy lost or dissipated. And so let's have a look at these different aspects. So we will discuss these aspects one by one briefly. And if you do have any questions, please make sure to note them down so that we can take those questions during the Q&A towards the end of the session, okay? So these are the concepts, right? So let's understand these concepts in light of this concept of beat in light of all these aspects: eating habits, water intake, speaking, seeing, sleeping, breathing, thinking, emotions, our emotions, physical touch, routine work, worldly vocations, right? Now you must be thinking, I know everything about all of these. But however, these are some of the most important aspects of human existence, and they determine how our life is going to be. How we act in the present moment in respect to with respect to these elements is going to determine how we create our future, right? So starting with our eating habits. Right? Now, when it comes to our eating habits, if we adopt scientific, need-based, and conscious patterns of food intake, it will result in the increase of energy levels in the physical body. And what happens, on the other hand, unscientific and unconscious patterns of food intake will result in the decrease of energy levels in the physical body, right? So what does this mean? We have to be conscious about what we consume. So for instance, the number one and the most important thing to understand is to always stick to a vegetarian diet. Say no to anything that is animal based. So say no to eggs, fish, or all kinds of non-vegetarian food. Follow a strict, healthy vegetarian diet, which is freshly cooked and full of life force or full of prana, right? Anything that grows is full of life. Anything that does not grow is not going to help you in any way, right? So for instance, you should consume green leafy vegetables, fresh fruits, salads, sprouts, grains, lentils, nuts and seeds, millets, etc. Animal foods should be avoided at all cost. Why? Because when animals get slaughtered for food, they suffer. All their suffering, all the trauma, all the fear, it actually gets transferred onto us when we consume the animal food, right? It gets stored in their energy body. And when we consume their food, when we consume that food, it gets transferred onto us. It gets recorded in our tissues. And so we experience the same trauma. We can feel the same fear, right? So if anybody's going through anxiety, the number one thing and the first thing that I would recommend is to check what kind of food you're eating. If you're eating anything non-vegetarian, anything animal-based, give up those foods and you'll see a difference in your overall well-being, right? Say no to junk food, stale food, or any processed foods. Anything that comes in a can, absolute no, right? It does not have any nutrients. Say no to garlic as it is negative. It contains negatively charged energy. Say no to anything which is a fungus, right? So mushrooms are basically fungus, right? They extract our own energy when the digestion process takes place, right? So they take energy. They don't provide energy, right? And they're only fungus. There is no photosynthesis that takes place in mushrooms. So again, eating mushrooms is not recommended. Avoid using microwaves, right? Avoid microwaving your food, because what happens when you microwave your food, it changes the chemical structure of the food. And what happens then? All your nutrients, 85% of your nutrients of any food that is microwaved are completely lost, right? In other words, it's absolutely useless. If you're consuming healthy food, you want to make sure that nutrients in that particular food are absolutely intact. Otherwise, it's not really helping your body. It's not really helping you receive or conserve any energies. Okay? Eat only when needed. Eat only when you're hungry. Always maintain a marginal hunger in the physical body while eating a meal, right? So make sure that you fill up your tummy 85% and leave the 15% of your stomach empty, right? This is very important. And you will see how much at ease you feel all throughout the day, right? Masticate well. Make sure to chew your food properly. They say that you should eat your water and drink your meal. In other words, chew your food properly so that it becomes liquid, so that you're able to digest your food properly, right? Be mindful when you're cooking, be mindful when you're eating. Every time you cook, cook with a heart full of gratitude, cook with a heart full of love and prayer, and the same when you're consuming a meal. Avoid watching television, avoid being on phone calls when you are consuming a meal. Why? Because when you're not present, what happens when you're not present? This is very scientific and very, very important to understand. We don't just have one brain. Most of us think we have one brain, but actually we have two brains. What is our second brain? Anyone? Can you tell me in the chat? Our second brain, and I think we don't have a lot of time for Q&As immediately because this is a very interesting topic and we have lots of elements to cover, but I will tell you the second brain that we have is in our stomach. It's called our gut, right? So when we do not eat our food mindfully as a habitual routine, it leads to numbing of our gut feeling, right? So eating mindfully is a prerequisite for our good health and for strengthening our gut feeling. And so many times, if you're in some emergency situations, sometimes our brain does not work. We don't know what to do. And at that time, it's our gut feeling that saves us, that gives us the signal, that helps us understand, oh, okay, what should I do? Should I call up XYZ? Should I take this step? Should I do this? It's our gut feeling that will guide us. But if we do not eat mindfully, our gut numbs down, right? So it's going to be difficult for us to understand and navigate through our life in difficult or in emergency situations, okay? So this was all about our eating habits. Next, let's talk about our water intake. So as I mentioned before, eat your water, drink your food. What does this tell us? It means that scientific and conscious patterns of drinking water will increase the energies of our physical body, right? And conversely, unscientific and unconscious patterns of drinking water will decrease the energies of our physical body. What is a scientific or conscious pattern of drinking water? Eating your water, basically, right? In other words, sipping your water, slowly sipping your water and avoiding gulping your water, right? We must drink plenty of water, plenty of purified water throughout the day, and also make sure that we drink consciously. Rather, eat our water consciously. Taste it. When you have a glass of water, you can make sure that you're very mindful. You can always also charge your water, because your water, before it reaches your tap in the kitchen, it goes through so many different sources. It's coming from so many different sources. It's bringing so many different kinds of energies with it. So you should never drink your water immediately, water which is immediately drawn from the tap. Always make sure to charge your water. Pray, thank your water. Have a heart full of gratitude. Send it blessings and pray, affirm, do affirmations. You can say, thank you to this beautiful water for healing my body inside out, right? With a heart full of gratitude. This is something that you should practice both while you're consuming your food as well as while you're consuming or taking in water. Yeah. So this was about our water intake. The next thing we need to understand is speaking, right? So the next element, which is very, very important, is the speaking. What's the art of speaking? right? We have so many people talking about the art of communication. But let's understand this from the perspective of a body energy amplification, right? So scientific, purposeful, and conscious patterns of speaking greatly conserve the energy of our physical body. On the other hand, unscientific, purposeless, and unconscious patterns of speaking greatly dissipate the energies of the physical body. So, what should we do? What are the things to keep in mind when it comes to talking, when it comes to speaking? Huh? Speak only when absolutely necessary. Practice verbal silence as much as possible. Unnecessary chit chat dissipates the energy. And you'll notice this within yourself. Try it out if you haven't tried it out, right? And you'll notice it. Be very conscious if you're constantly talking on the phone and it's about nothing, talking about general chit chat on the phone with your friends, and you haven't done any physical activity, but just talking, and you'll find yourself that your energy is going down, isn't it? Right? So practice verbal silence as much as possible and speak only when absolutely necessary. And that this obviously does not mean that you can't crack jokes and have a good time with your friends and family, but be mindful when you do that. Speak briefly and consciously and always to the point. Yeah. Convey your message to the point. Speak in easy, simple, and understandable language, right? Opt for clarity over style. There's this myth that if we use flowery, fancy language, we can impress anyone. But what's the point if nobody understands what you're saying, isn't it? So it's very important to speak with clarity, and style is not necessary, right? Style is not necessary. It adds to what you're saying, but clarity is what matters. Yeah. And the most important point here to remember, right, is this: avoiding all kinds of slander, all kinds of gossip, all kinds of complaining or blaming. Avoid criticizing yourself and others, which is very self-sabotaging. A lot of people who are critical or judgmental towards others are actually very judgmental and critical towards themselves, right? So there is this introspection that needs to be done, and for that, meditation really helps us, right? Avoid interfering in the lives of others. If you think someone is doing something which does not sit well or align with your principles, you don't necessarily have to intervene, interfere, and tell them, right? You can inform them about something that could benefit them, but interfering in somebody's life is not recommended. Okay, this is a very big topic, and if you want, well, we can talk about this later on. Yeah. Right. So avoid all kinds of arguments, avoid disputes to the extent possible. And there is this beautiful book, right? There's a beautiful book called The Book of Mirdad by Mikhail Nemi. This author, Mikhail Nemi, has beautifully explained through the character of Mirdad that we must avoid all disputes and arguments as God has no opposites. I absolutely loved this phrase, God has no opposites. What does this mean? And that's why I wanted to include this in the presentation today. Now, it means that we all have the same divine fragment, right? We all are divine. And when we know that we all are divine, then why argue? Why blame? Why call names? Why criticize? Why judge, right? The moment you understand that the divinity resides in all of us, all the blame, judgment should absolutely disappear, should stop, right? Avoid being a victim, being in the victim mentality, right? Avoid also self-blaming or self-sabotaging, self-criticism, right? Self-sabotaging criticism. Okay, we already talked about that. So this was all about things to keep in mind when it comes to speaking, when it comes to talking. The next element is seeing. Your eyes are the windows to your soul, isn't it? But your eyes are constantly consuming, right? They're constantly taking information. In other words, the more your eyes are open all the time, the more your energy is also getting dissipated. So we have to be mindful. Scientific, purposeful, and conscious patterns of seeing result in great conservation of energy of the physical body, and vice versa, right? Unscientific, purposeless, and unconscious patterns of seeing result in great dissipation of energy of the physical body. So nearly 80% of our energy is actually used up in the activity of seeing, right? As is in the activity of talking. Yeah. While meditating, we close our eyes. Why do we put the three locks? We close our eyes, lock our fingers, lock our feet, right? But most importantly, we close our eyes. Why? Because during that time, we are trying to conserve the cosmic energy that we are receiving through our crown chakra, right? We must strive to increase our hours or the time that we meditate, because the more we meditate, the more we keep our eyes closed, the more we are able to conserve and maximize our cosmic energy levels in our bodies. Our faculty of seeing should be rightly utilized. How? By reading the right spiritual books, by watching spiritual movies and attending spiritual retreats. Avoid watching anything that is violent, that is horrifying, that is unhealthy, because there is something called visual memory. Every time you're seeing something on television, you are creating visual memory. You're taking in the energies. And there have been scientific experiments that tell us that whatever you are watching, if you're watching anything that has to do with war, famine, anything that is horrifying, the trauma that is being felt, the emotions that are being felt by the actual people being shown on television, or the people who are enacting that trauma, the fear, and all of those lower emotions can be felt by the person who's watching, the audience who's viewing that as well. So there are scientific experiments which prove that you receive the same energies you are actually watching the audience feel on the television, on the big screen, right? So avoid watching things that are not necessarily healthy. That does not mean you don't stay informed, but limit the kind of things you watch, which can possibly dissipate your energy. When speaking to another person, we must absolutely look in their eyes, right? Look in somebody's eyes when you're having a conversation, when you're trying to strike a conversation. Some people avoid eye contact, and that is a sign of lack of self-confidence and often lack of trustworthiness. Okay? So this is all about seeing. The next element is sleeping. Very, very important. Scientific and conscious patterns of sleeping greatly help in the conservation or increase of energy of the physical body, and vice versa. Lack of sleep can lead to dissipation of energy. Why? Because during our sleep, we receive cosmic energy, right? We must try to fulfill our sleep requirements in some split doses during the daytime as well. So there's nothing wrong in taking a siesta. There's nothing wrong in taking a small nap. It actually refreshes you, right? Again, this is a scientifically proven fact. We must learn now and then to also go to sleep in the sitting posture. If you're somebody who needs to travel to work or travel somewhere far every single day, spend long hours, and if you feel tired, you can close your eyes, take a nap, even if you're sitting, right? So you can practice that to conserve your energy levels. Yeah. At the end of the day, when we finally decide to go to sleep, we must do so by observing our breath for some time, right? So it's always good to take some conscious breaths before we go to sleep. And it's even better if we combine those conscious steps with some conscious and beautiful affirmations of gratitude, of love, of acceptance. Be grateful about any 2 or 3 things that happened during the day. Thank the universe. Thank your loved ones for being around. Thank yourself. Thank your body. And then proceed to having a good night's sleep, and you'll actually wake up super refreshed. The thoughts you sleep with are the thoughts you also wake up with. We must practice affirmations and gratitude at bedtime after meditating to enjoy a quantum sleep and manifest positive changes in our lives, right? 6 hours of unconscious sleep is also equal to 1 hour of yogic sleep, which is meditation-induced sleep. So that's the power of meditation, and that's how, and the power of meditation combined with sleep, right? It really energizes your entire physical body. Yeah. Breathing, very, very important, right? It's all about breathing, right? Anapanasati is all about breathing, conscious breathing. It allows us to greatly conserve our cosmic energy. It allows for great inflow of cosmic energy apart from supplying oxygen. Unconscious breathing supplies only oxygen, but it does not necessarily provide cosmic energy, right? Okay, so what should we do? We should indulge more and more in conscious breathing. That is why we encourage all the time to please practice Anapanasati meditation as much as possible, right? Making sure that you assign as much value and as much importance to this technique, as much value you assign to all the other tasks that you do in your life, right? Meditate regularly and sincerely, no gaps or excuses. It's very important to be consistent, okay? Because you will see the difference only when you are consistently meditating every single day. All right, I think we have gone ahead by a few minutes, right? So I'm just very quickly going to wrap up. Again, thinking is very important, right? So thinking is all about what? Developing a spiritual, scientific temper by reading the right spiritual books, right? Thinking the right things. Negative thinking can dissipate your energy. Positive thinking, optimistic thinking can actually increase your energy levels. Make sure that you watch your emotions, right? We must train ourselves to keep our negative emotions at bay. And there are a lot of things that you can do, Anapanasati meditation being one of the techniques which will help you conserve your energy and keep a check on your emotions. Make sure to express yourself. Don't suppress your emotions. Suppressed emotions get stored in our tissues, right? And then they cause further physical problems or diseases, right? So manifest in different kinds of problems. So express your emotions. Physical touch is very important. It's always recommended that when you meet your friends and family, hug them, shake hands, all right, with all your heart, with heart full of love and gratitude. Physical touch can greatly, physical affection, right? Affection which is expressed through physical touch can greatly help in increasing and conserving your energy in your physical bodies. And last but not the least, routine work and our worldly vocations, right? Always understand that all of these things we're talking about, we can't just, it's not just about certain elements. This practice extends to every single thing. When it comes to your routine work, we should always be very conscious of even the minutest aspects of all the work that we do, right? So do everything mindfully. If you're washing dishes, be mindful. Thank your dishes. If you're cooking food, be mindful. If you're reading a book, be mindful. Put every other task aside and do what you're doing mindfully and by being present in the moment, right? Worldly vocations. Make sure that the worldly vocations that you pick, the work that you pick should align with your true purpose. And that is going to give you true fulfillment and will help you conserve your energies to the best possible manner. This was about this beautiful topic of beat. I'm sorry, we've gone a bit, we've taken some extra minutes to work on this, to talk about this topic. Remember that each of these aspects of human existence, our endeavor should be to conserve or gain more and more physical energy and let its reserves, so that we don't let its reserves deplete from our body, right? So that we can maintain the reserves in our body. All right. Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this topic. And what we're going to do now is that we're going to proceed and do the beautiful meditation, right? So let's go ahead and meditate. So now that we have discussed this lovely topic of beat, it's time for us to put the 3 locks. I want you to find a comfortable space in your house, wherever you are. If you can sit in Sukhasana, wonderful. If you're sitting on a chair or a sofa, please make sure to cross your feet. Don't cross your legs, cross your feet, okay? Gently put the second lock, cross your fingers, and gently put your hands or your palms on your thighs, and close your eyes. Gently close your eyes as we proceed into the beautiful and calm meditation. And Pooja, I would like to request you to please play the music, if you can do that. Thank you so much. Close your eyes gently and softly, keeping your spine straight while gently relaxing every part of your body. We're going to begin our divine inward journey. This is your time for deep relaxation and restoration. Let's begin by feeling the divine energies in your beautiful feet, your feet that carry you everywhere. Feel the gentle, soft sensations in your toes. Let those sensations travel from your toes, moving up your ankles, moving up to your heels. Let those sensations rise. Let them rise gently to your lower legs and travel up to your knees, healing your legs with divine energies of restoration. Feel your body supported by the surface beneath you. Give yourself the permission to let go of doing and feel the cascade of sensations in your body, so that all the mental and physical energies that hold your muscles and tissues can soften. And as your muscles soften, I want you to feel the energies in your beautiful abdomen area. Bring your loving attention to your abdomen area. And feel the sensations of the divine energies traveling up to your back, lovingly relaxing your entire back with deep healing. And let those energies travel to your chest area and move towards your heart. Your heart which is filled with divine love and compassion. Let these energies travel up from your heart to your neck area. Bringing your attention to your neck area. Let those energies travel to your shoulders. Let them travel to your arms, filling your arms with divine cosmic energy. Filling your arms and your hands with divine cosmic energy, and letting every cell of your body feel renewed and restored with energies, with loving bliss and kindness. And let those sensations travel to your face, your mouth, your beautiful eyes, your beautiful forehead. Let it travel back to your skull, the back of your skull, your hair follicles. Feel the gentle sensation in your scalp. Now bring your energies, your loving attention to your ears, your cheeks, your beautiful nose. Like the sun rays embrace the skies, relaxing your face, relaxing your forehead, relaxing your crown area. And now, take a deep breath in. And release. Release all the tension and worries out of your body. And take one more deep breath in. And release. And now bring your loving awareness to your tranquil, natural, and beautiful breath. Watch your loving breath like a witness. Every breath that you take is precious, divine, and magnificent. Stay with your beautiful breath. Stay with your beautiful breath. Let's express our gratitude to the universe, heartfelt gratitude to the beautiful universe, for we are part of it. The universe within us, the universe around us. Our heartfelt gratitude to Pitama Patrici, for bringing us the precious gift of meditation, oneness, pure bliss. Heartfelt gratitude to our loved ones, our families, our parents, siblings, friends, colleagues, for teaching us the lessons we must learn, for all the experiences that help us grow. Heartfelt gratitude to the beautiful plant kingdom, animal kingdom, and every single creature of the Almighty, for our own divinity, for everything in our lives. Gratitude for this moment of togetherness and bliss. Last 1 minute. Begin to start feeling the sensations in your toes, in your fingers, as we come back to our mortal realities. Slowly coming back in our physical realities. Slowly unlock your fingers. Take your beautiful palms. Take them to your eyes. Place them gently on your eyes. Breathing in deeply and releasing all tensions, all worries. Gently open your eyes in your palms with a beautiful smile on your face. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, beautiful people, beautiful souls. I know this was a bit rushed, but I hope you enjoyed the meditation. And if you have any questions now, as you slowly come back to your mortal realities, feel free to ask any questions that you might have about the topic or the meditation in general. I'm here for you. We are all here for you. Welcome back. Thank you, Pooja. Let us know if you don't have any questions. We will proceed to our oneness meditation. We'll have 10 minutes of a oneness meditation for world peace. Let me know in the chat. If you don't have any questions, we can continue meditating for another 10 minutes. How does that sound? I think people are still in a meditative mode. Yeah. All right. As I don't see any questions, if you have any questions, please do raise your hands. And if you don't have any questions, we will we will continue meditating for another 10 minutes and keeping the beautiful emotion of world peace, happiness, and peacefulness for everyone around the world. Sending love energies to everyone around the world. Yes. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Thank you, Pooja. If you'd like to put the music back, we will continue with the meditation for another 10 minutes. Okay. Let's do that. And then in the end, if you do have questions, we will come to the questions after that, if that's okay. Yeah. Okay. Pooja is telling me we need to wait until 9. Okay. So we'll wait for 3 minutes. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions, if there is anything that you want to say, you want to express, please do. Hello, Deepaji. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Hi. I just wanted to know, like you told we have to avoid animal products, right? So, like, is the milk? I want to clarify whether the milk comes under the animal or the plant based.
Yes, it is part of animal food. Definitely, yes. So, to whatever extent possible, if you can avoid it, you can do that. And if we think about it scientifically, you can make coconut milk, which is far more nutritious. I'm just giving an example. This is what I do. I just stopped having milk, and I'm opting for coconut milk, and I prepare the coconut milk at home, and it's so much more nutritious. It is so much more tastier, and it really warms my soul knowing that I am following this practice and paying respect to animals, right?
So,
Because yes, tell
so
me.
we should avoid like milk and milk products, like the cheese,
Absolutely.
paneer, all those, right?
Absolutely,
Mhm.
because all of those are animal foods. All of those are retrieved from animals, right? So even though we are consuming milk, right? If you're consuming milk and we're thinking, oh, we're not really hurting anybody. However, think about it this way: whatever we are consuming, we are actually participating in that practice of torture or trauma. Uh, right? So there's a lot of research that has been done for us to understand what really happens in those places where those animals are treated. Worst of all, we have gone past the time, right? The earlier times, our Dadaji, Nanaji, Naniji, what they used to consume was very pure, right? Was very different than what is being sold today. Today, animals are being tortured for human greed, right? And
Yes.
that's absolutely against our principle of oneness, right?
Okay.
So as much as possible, avoid animal foods. Thank you for
Okay.
asking this
Thank
question.
you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming forward. Lovely. Please feel free, if you've never spoken before, this is the time. If you have any questions, don't be shy. One of the most important things, again, The reason why we ask questions is so that we can encourage you to come forward. If you have never spoken before, this is the time. Activate your Vishuddhi Chakra. बात करनी है, express करना है अपने आप को. Express करना बहुत important है. Express yourself, right? Don't keep your emotions to yourself. If you have questions, doubts, then there is no question that is, there is no bad question. All questions are important. All questions are equally valid and important. Okay, thank you so much, Deepaji, for coming forward. And when you ask questions, everybody else also gets educated. Everyone gets the information. We all get to learn, right? So please come forward. Thank you so much. All right. So now what we're going to do, if you don't have any questions, we're going to stop the YouTube live and we're going to proceed towards our 10 minutes oneness world peace meditation in the honor of every single being all around the globe, all around the universe, so that we can bring people together, bring souls together, send them love energies, energies of peace. So please let me know, Pooja, when you stop the live and when we can proceed. I think it's, on my clock, it's 10:32. I'll give it a few more. Thank you, Pooja. Give it another minute and then we will proceed towards the oneness meditation. Please feel free if you have any questions.